We appreciate you taking the time out to talk to us. You're still in Lithuania.
Yes, I just came to Lithuania like 6 days ago.
6 days ago. So
I went to the Dubai because you have to be out of Europe for 2 weeks and then you can come to the US. So I spent 2 weeks in Dubai. I was training over there and then I came to the US. I supposed to fight October 30. So after like 1 week in US, like 10 days, they said I'm not fighting.
and you're still with PBC because I think you signed with Probellum now, right? And Richard Schaefer.
Yeah, I was with Richard Schaefer from the beginning with Ringstar Promotions, and now he opened a new company. So yes, I'm with Probellum and a little bit with PBC. So
Okay.
it's unclear.
And your trainer,
Marvin Samodia.
the apprentice or the second of Freddie Roach, right?
Yes, yes.
Nice. And how long have you been with him?
Like 3 years, 2 years, 2 years, 2 years.
Interesting, interesting. So I see that you were in the Olympics for Brazil. Is that a Brazilian?
Yeah, 2016.
How'd you represent Brazil?
No, I was representing my country.
Oh, you won.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Brazil.
All right, all right. I was gonna say because I seen one of your posts and you said I think to your mother and your sisters or your mother and your wife you said mi amores, and I'm like I wonder if he has some sort of Brazilian and that's why he can speak Spanish.
No, a little bit. That's just for social media.
Just doing it for the gram. I got you. So tell me, how do you feel about this news? Obviously, everyone is talking about you since we heard the news that the WBA denied the special permit for Ugas to face Earl Spence. How are you, I guess, receiving the news that now you get to fight Ugas and you have to negotiate that in 30 days?
Yeah, I feel good. It's the kind of opportunity I was waiting. And his team was saying, that I beat nobody. In the welterweight division. Yes, I agree totally. But I haven't got a shot. To beat somebody with a name. So now I will get a shot, and I will do my best. So of course it's a good news. I know it's bad news for him. But it's not me. It's WBA made 4-man tournament, and I'm the one from the 4 guys who's competing in that tournament. So
If
what
you
can I say?
if you were in his shoes, would you have done the same thing? Would you have tried to put in a special permit to fight Earl Spence, the 2-belt champ with the IBF and WBC titles?
Yeah, I think so for sure because it's big money fights. Like with me, I'm not well known in the US market. Of course, but it's the WBA ruling. And he said like something that his mandatory was Manny Pacquiao. He was always talking about Manny Pacquiao, but let's not forget he got like lottery ticket to fight Manny Pacquiao. And he just was at the right time at the right place. Now I am at the right time and at the right place.
But do you feel it's a bit unfair that, because imagine if you faced Pacquiao, do you think that you deserve to face your mandatory after having your greatest achievement accomplished?
I don't really know. It's some ruling. You have to follow the rules. I think so that so. He's supposed to fight me now. Of course, I know he wanted to fight Spence, and most of the people wanted to see that fight, and I totally agree, and I understand him. I don't say something, bad or what's going on, but I want to fight, I want to prove what I'm capable of in the welterweight division. Nobody knows me, like only a few, boxing fans know me. So I never got a shot to prove who I am. So I was fighting, and now I will get the opportunity and I will show.
I have to say your English is phenomenal. How long have you been speaking, and where and when did you pick it up?
No, it's not good.
No,
Yeah,
no. Listen, I've interviewed 12 years worth of fighters from every country. You are speaking very well. You've done better than Cotto and Canelo. They took way longer. They took way longer to speak English. When did you start?
I started in school.
Okay.
So have in Lithuania, we have like two languages you can choose. Like English is the priority, and
Oh,
then Russian, Germany. So you have to choose two languages. So I choose, of course, the English is priority, and now the new generation is speaking much better English. Because they start from the age like 8. Very early. So every kid is pushed, to speak English.
no, that definitely helps, man. I'm very glad that you speak so fluently. That's gonna help you on the rise up. Now, Earl Spence tweeted yesterday. I don't know if you follow Twitter. Are you on Twitter?
A little bit,
A
not
little
so
bit.
much.
All right. So he said yesterday, "Money talks," and then he put an emoji of a trap. So he's basically saying, or my interpretation of his tweet is that if they offer you step aside money, maybe the fight with him and Ugas can still happen. So my question obviously is there a number for you? Would you accept a number, or are you of the mindset that it doesn't matter what they offer you, you just want to fight Ugas next?
I want to fight Ugas for sure next. I want that title. So I worked all my life very hard, and it's big opportunity for me. But it's up to my team, what they will say, what they will rule out, if I'll be still mandatory after fight. I think, sometimes, yeah, you can make good decisions and bad, and I don't know, about the like boxing business a lot. I'm learning, as a fighter and as a, boxing businessman. So we'll
Absolutely.
see. We'll see. I don't know what's going to be happen. Now I'm ruled to fight Yordenis Ugas. I'm training. I'm focused, and that's my priority. And I have you know him in my head. And I'm always training. Just for that fight. So we'll see what's going to happen.
Now, the WBA has given you 30 days to negotiate, but what timeline do you have in your mind where you expect the fight to be made and you be in the ring? Like, what month do you imagine?
I think maybe January.
Oh, wow, that's soon. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Because we have like by the rules we're supposed to fight until January or February. What is the month after December?
January.
So January 13 is the date. I think we're supposed to fight, but always you can negotiate, because I know he needs time to prepare. I need time to prepare. So maybe January, late January, maybe early February. It doesn't matter. I don't know. Maybe December, late December. We'll see.
Excuse me. So I was recommending, obviously, you don't have any control over this the same way
Yeah.
that I don't. But since Spence can't fight Ugas, do you think it's fair for you and Ugas to be on the undercard and give Spence Thurman this way? It's 4 welterweights on one fight? Or do you think you and Ugas deserve your own main event, your own card?
Yeah, of course. The Errol Spence is a big star. It will be like good event if they will make the fight with Spence and Turman, and I'm going to be with the Ugas. It will be a good event, that's for sure. So it makes sense, of course. So I'll be happy to be on that card.
We got Rue in the 504. That's a state here in New Orleans in America. He says, how does it feel to be in the position to win the title if you get through this WBA tournament? Well, I mean, you already got through the tournament because now you're fighting Ugas. That's the title.
Yeah, it's a dream of every fighter to become world champion. That's no secret. So I want to put my shoes in U.S. market, and everybody to know me. So I will do my best, in the performance, and I'm young, I'm hungry, so that makes a good fight. Everybody maybe they don't know me, so they say, "Oh, Ugas will win and he'll, smash the guy or something." But I'll be prepared. I'm ready. I like to walk through the fire.
Speaking of fire, my next question was going to be, have you heard of Jerron Boots Ennis? Because he's going to be facing eventually Jamal James, who is the regular champion. So if you do beat Ugas, this guy Ennis that the world, and I'm using air quotes, they think he's next up. Have you heard of him? Have you watched him fight? He's the one
I
that faced Sergey Lipinets.
Yeah, I know Ennis, but Ennis is not in the tournament. Jamal James is fighting Raja Butayev.
No,
So,
I know. But the plan is if
oh,
Jamal wins and Ennis
yes.
wins on October 30th, they're supposed to allegedly meet. Allegedly.
Oh, okay, okay, we'll see. Yeah, I know the Ennis is good fighter. You know, he's young and strong. Like you say, this is the new wave. You know, welterweight division, and we have like good guys. You know, and it's bunch of fighters. You know, you can mix and match them, and it's going to be a good fight. That's for sure. So welterweight division is rising. You know, so there is like bunch of hungry lions. You know, so everybody wants to be a champion and leave the mark in that division.
Absolutely. What's your walk around weight?
My it's secret. I can't say.
Okay.
No, I'm walking around maybe 170, something like that.
All right. All right. That's not bad. It's not
Yeah.
bad. So you that's about less than 30 pounds that you have to take off per camp, right? Something like
No,
that.
it's like 23
Yeah.
pounds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I
Less than 30.
Yeah, I like to be like when I'm training for the training camp. I like to walk around 167, 165,
Mm.
and then I cut all the pounds, to 147.
Being in California for 3 years, have you bumped into Sean Porter and maybe got a little bit of sparring with him or not yet?
No, I never sparred Sean Porter. I was out when he was sparring, so
Mm.
I missed that. I sparred only like from the superstars. I sparred Lara, Cotto, and Jose Ramirez.
Wow. Laura, pretty big.
Yeah, I was helping him when he fought for the Castano fight. So I
Nice.
was the guy who helped him because I was at the time I was training with Ronnie Shields in Texas. So yeah, I was the main sparring partner. I helped him, and the styles matches. So.
What happened with you and Shields? You know, he's a hot topic right now. AJ was over there feeling him out, seeing if he uses Ronnie to help him beat Usyk. Why did you leave?
The main reason I left because of the sparring partners and the location. It's different. I was living alone. I don't have any friends. It's a little bit hard. You after training you have to have somebody to talk or go for a walk. So it was kind of hard. So and the expenses, the flights and the living, it was a little bit different. Of course, not the living, the flights was most the expenses. So he's very good trainer and very good human being. It's I love him so much. But I had to make this decision.
And how do you feel about the possibility of Ronnie Shields possibly training Anthony Joshua? With your experience with Ronnie, you think that's a good fit for Joshua?
I don't really know. I can't answer this question. I don't know. Ronnie is a good guy. He will take care of you and he will train you. He's going to do everything, in his power, what he can do. That's for sure. He's the workaholic. He always be in the gym and he's the, one who is learning also. He has big history with heavyweights. So I think yes. I think from some point yes, but we'll see. We'll see. I think Joshua now came to the US and he's trying all different trainers, and he wants to pick and choose.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about that fight with him and Usyk? You think Usyk does it again? I'll be honest. Usyk surprised me. I was picking on Anthony Joshua. I thought he would be too big, too strong.
Before the fight, I was thinking it's 50-50 fight. I didn't give anyone, favor. It's like 50-50 fight. And
Mm-hmm.
Usyk proved, he boxed very well. But Joshua didn't use his, power. He wanted to box, and he's a bigger man. You have to do against Usyk. I think like who he fought, Chisora, yes.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go inside, make the fight dirty. It's not a boxing match. You have to make it dirty. Clinching, throwing, some different punches, different angles, and you have to wrestle against Usyk. So that's the main thing. I think what he can do, and Joshua is a big guy and powerful.
So by wrestle, you mean kind of like what Fury did to Wilder so you could wear Usyk
Yes,
out?
yes, exactly. Make you tired, and
Mm.
yeah.
So, Stanionis, right? And am I saying it right? Because yesterday I was destroying it. I was saying it totally wrong.
Stanionis is how
Stanionis.
it goes. Yeah, you are
Stanionis.
calling it good, you know.
All right. So I'm gonna assume that you believe you're gonna beat Ugas. So what do you think is your super fight when it's all said and done? Do you think you'll be fighting Crawford to undispute? Would it be Earl who beats Crawford and now you fight him for 3 belts? Do you end up fighting the winner of Crawford and then fight Earl? How do you see it playing out? Have you envisioned it, or are you not looking past Ugas?
I never look past the fighters. I can't imagine because it's my dream to become world champion, and I have to do my best to win, you know, and show what quality of the fighter I am. So the main thing is, Ugas, I'm not never looked past the fighters, you know, and never visualized what's going to be next, you know. So after the fight, I can answer to this question.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I got to get your predictions on all these welterweight fights. We'll start with the biggest, Bud and Porter. Terrence Bud Crawford versus Sean Porter. How do you see that fight playing out?
I think Porter wins.
Wow.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm just thinking that Porter will go like we spoke. You have to go inside, you know, make the fight dirty, and Porter is good at that. And Crawford never faced somebody, you know. He is too. He gets sometimes angry, you know, and he likes to exchange, you know. So, but I think Porter has a little bit better defense. Maybe early rounds it will be hard for Porter, but later on he'll, you know, do better. I think it's my opinion. I think Porter will win.
And we got Yordenis versus someone you face, Thomas Delorme.
Yes. I think Ennis will knock Delorme out, maybe in like 8 rounds. To be honest, I was fighting Delorme with one hand. After the first round, I hurt my right hand. I couldn't throw the right hand at all. You know, if you saw the fight, you know, I was throwing different angles, you know, that I never throw like that, you know. So my hand was very hurt and I couldn't, it was like zero power, you know. I almost knocked him out, you know, but he was, I think, in the best shape in his life at that fight, you know. He showed, he's a warrior, you know.
No, he is, man.
He's a good guy. Yeah. He's a strong guy, and I just, you know, enjoy to fight a good guys, good opponents, and, you know, take experience. And of course, I have to win because I want to, you know, make my name for myself.
For sure, for sure. So the next one is Jamal James versus, you pronounce it better than me.
Yeah, Rajabutai. I think Rajabutai will win.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. And let me see, am I missing one? Who else in the welterweight division is fighting? I think that's it. But let's assume the PBC does the right thing and gives Earl Thurman. How do you see that fight playing out?
Earl will win for sure. You know, the time when you're off from the fighting, it hurts the fighters. You know, you have to be active. You have to be, that's for sure. And Truman is out for a long time now, you know, and coming back and fighting, you know, Earl, he has to fight like 1 or 2, I think two tune-up fights, you know, against somebody. One like easy fight and then another one, you know, more competitive, and then fight Earl. Because if you jump straight, you know, to the Earl fight, it's going to be brutal.
We got just a few more. Young Tigre says, in your opinion, what are the 3 toughest fighters Caleb Plant has faced?
Caleb Plant? Caleb Plant, yeah. I don't know, really.
You're terrible.
Don't do it. Good competition, you know. He fought some good guys, but it wasn't like elite level, you know. So
I gotta get your pick, man. Does Caleb have a shot, in your opinion?
No.
No shot?
No shot.
Why?
Maybe 3-4 rounds, he can win, but it doesn't matter. The fight is 12 rounds. No shot. I don't think so. I know he's a good fighter, you know, tremendous, like skillful. But Canelo is, you know, different. He's a different animal.
Did you think Sandor Martin had a shot last week versus Mikey?
Of course, no. But Canelo is different. Canelo, look, Mikey was off for a long time, like we spoke about, you know.
And Canelo's very active.
Yeah, and he fought at catch weight. He couldn't make weight, you know, and these things, you know, hits the fighter, you know, during the fight day.
Your English is amazing. People gonna, after they hear this, you'll see people gonna be calling you all left and right to interview you, man. I didn't know you were this fluent. We got Big Casual that says, "What's up, champ? At what weight class you see yourself finishing at?" And he means like ending your career. What weight class you think you finish?
154.
Oh wow!
I will fight 147, and I will jump. I want to get a title, and then I'm going to jump to 154. But it's, if you know, it depends on the fights, because I like the 147 division because of the fighters, of the quality, you know, of I like the challenges, you know, in the life. I always like to go against the best, you know, and prove myself and, you know, dig deep. I never had to dig deep, you know, because I was most of the time, you know, winning. It wasn't like, oh, I lost this and that. Like, I'm going to lose this fight and I need to dig deep, you know. So I want to be in that kind of fight, you know, and it's like draw fight and you have to, you know, bite your mouthpiece, you know, and go through fire.
Yeah, man. You're making a lot of fans today with our live chat's going crazy. We got Israel Weber in Oklahoma who says, "Appreciate your clear and concise answers on the show. When next in Oklahoma, lunch on me." That's Izzy in Oklahoma.
Thank you.
We got Brandon in Cincinnati. You already answered this one. He said Crawford versus Porter. Who wins? You said Porter. Love that answer. Next is Steve in the UK, United Kingdom, who says, from what you have seen of Ugas, what is his best weapon, and how would you cancel him out and become the new champion? Thanks for coming on the show, Steve in the UK.
I know he doesn't like to fight inside, you know. I saw the fight against Dolla. He got dropped with a left hook, you know, and body shots, you know. I like to throw body shots. And, of course, he has a good jab. I also has a good jab. So we'll see how it, you know, plays out, who has a better timing, you know. And I know he is countering from the jab very good. He has that, you know, he sees the punch, you know. But against him, nobody used the, like, fake movements, you know, or the fake jab, you know, or something, setups, you know. I like to do these things, you know, in that kind of fight, you know, and we'll see. I'm very happy and waiting.
Were you impressed with his win over Pacquiao, or do you think any welterweight that night would have beat Pacquiao?
We all have to understand, you know, the age hits, and Manny Pacquiao he wasn't active, and he has other things, you know, like he's going for president, you know, and when you're training, you have to be focused, you know, on the fight and training, no other things, you know. So that's the thing. I think, you know, you need to rest between the trainings, you know, recover your body. So I think a lot of fighters would beat Manny Pacquiao, and I wasn't impressed. I thought before the fight that Ugas will beat Manny Pacquiao. It's like 60-40. Like I was doing this like 60-40. I gave to Ugas because I knew he can win, you know. So it wasn't a surprise for me, you know.
Before you knew you were going to fight Ugas, who did you think in your head was your toughest welterweight fight?
Toughest one, I think Errol. Errol is the toughest one.
Even after everything that's happened, you still think he's the most toughest and durable out of the division?
Yes, everybody says, oh, after the car accident, he was like, oh, maybe he will not be the same, you know. But he proved I think he was training much more than usual, and, you know, maybe sometimes fame can get into your head, you know, and after that, you know, I think you look into the life differently, you know, after that kind of
accident. Absolutely. I agree with you. But what about the eye now?
The eye, that's the thing, you know, because the Ugas team was saying, you know, the Errol will be like clear in November 1st to train, you know. But let's not forget, he haven't sparred, you know. When you will start sparring, maybe you'll get hit and everything will be the same or worse, you know. This is not a joke, you know. Retina is a big problem, and, you know, it's for some fighters, it's, you know, end of the career, you know. I hope it's not for Errol. He's a good for boxing, you know, and he's very exciting, you know. So I hope everything is good with his health and his eye, and he can continue, you know, to compete. But I think it's too early to start sparring, you know. You have to take it seriously. give the eye, rest a little bit more than it takes, and come back, 100%. It's not like risking, So the boxing can't stop because Errol, is injured or something happened. So boxing has to move on. Like I said, the new wave is coming. It's not only me that I'm trying to be a champion. It's other fighters too. Everybody wants to make a name, and it's nothing bad. It's only good for the sport because we have a bunch of fighters.
Out of this new wave you keep speaking of, who do you think is the biggest threat?
I think Virgil.
Virgil Ortiz. Wow.
Yeah.
We haven't spoke about him. What do you think about Virgil? Why do you think he is the threat?
He's a good fighter. He's like, he likes to go and do his best. Like I said, we all are hungry because we want to get the title shot and, be a champions. So he's a good fighter, he faced like good opponents, and he did very well, So.
All right. I got another one here. Brandon in Houston says, help me with the first. Is it Eimantas?
Eimantas, yes.
Eimantas, thanks for coming on. I love your high guard. It might be the best in boxing. How did you develop it, and are you confident working behind it versus any other style? Or rather versus a style?
Yeah, I like it. I can absorb punches, It's different high guard. Like, let's say Brandon Rios has high guard, yes? But he gets punched in the face a lot, because he doesn't, like, cover. I don't know. He seems like he holds his hands, but he's not covering, I like to take punches and I like to counter because when I have a high guard, I can counter and I'm good at countering punches, So that's like I'm luring my opponent, to some counter punches. So that's why I'm using it. But I also now, change a little bit, but I'm trying to do new things, In US, you can learn some other tricks and other styles, So I'm trying to do everything, when come fight night, if my style will not work, what I usually do, I will do something different, So.
We got Andre who says, Andre Brown, who would you compare your fighting style to?
Everybody compares my fighting style with GGG, GGG is one, I'm only one, so I can say it's not so many fighters with a high guard, that's for sure. I can say if you look at the history, everybody's, fighting differently. So I don't know who I can. Maybe GGG has a good job. I have pretty good job. I can't say I have the best job or something. I'll always have to be in the school, the teacher teaches the students. So I like to be a student of the game and always improving and learning.
When you're talking about that high guard, why do you think that you have been having success with it and not being hit to the body? I feel like when people use the high guard, they're more open for body shots.
Yeah, so that's always I'm waiting for the body shots. That's when I can counter, my opponents. So that's not a big problem. I have my elbows at the right place,
Now, specifically with Ugas, he kind of likes to counter to the body. I don't know if you notice, he does like shovel uppercuts to the body. Are you looking forward to that, I guess, because, you're a body puncher?
Yes. So, yeah, like I say, when the body punchers meet, so we'll see who is the better one.
But you think that your advantage is going to be when you're in on the body, capitalizing where Delorme showed you, which would be hitting him with the left hook on the inside.
Yeah, I think I switch more, like uppercut, body shot, and head, so I think I have advantage at this. He just comes in and throws like great body shots, like 3 or 4 body shots. So, but he set up like a power punch,
Have you heard of Ryan Rozecki? He's going to be facing Oscar Rivas.
Oscar Rivas, I know, but the other guy, I don't know.
Okay. Shakur Stevenson versus Jamel Herring.
Yeah.
You know those? Are familiar with them?
Yeah, of course. I'm a boxing fan also. I watch boxing all the time.
All right. Give me your prediction, man, because we're big bettors over here. So, I mean, obviously, to have a student of the game, someone that's in the ring, you see things differently than us. I know that Shakur's a very big favorite, but I feel like the world champion and Jamel Herring has the experience, even though he's 35. So, you know, he's experienced, but he has the age. Shakur has the youth. But you just never know. Sometimes experience can play a factor. How are you looking at this fight?
That's the best fights when you put a young guy against the experienced guy, you know. So it makes a, like in boxing, it's hard to predict. I will go with you know, Shakur because he's really talented, but for me, I can't watch that style, you know, fighting because he makes all the rounds, you know, and he doesn't try to. It seems he doesn't try to knock his opponents out. He wants to, you know, go out of the ring like nobody touch him, you know, and like go out clean. Yeah, it's a smart thing, you know. But as a fans, you know, see some entertainment, blood, you know, and knockouts. So he's really special and talented fighter, you know. But like I said, we will see. It's hard to predict. But if I have to choose, I will go with Shakur.
I was leaning with Otto Wallin versus Dillian Whyte. I know that fight is canceled now. But who were you gonna pick in that fight? Who did you imagine would win?
To be honest, I never saw the Otto Wallin fight because I know he got popular after the Fury fight, something like that. But I like Dillian Whyte. He's like, you know, he's bomber. I like that style, you know, coming inside, you know, and so that's my style.
I like you, man. I like you. He said, I know he got popular after the Fury fight, and it's true though. Everybody started paying attention to him after that one. Let's see what else is out there. I think that's it, really it. If you had to choose, obviously the mandatory now for Tyson Fury, whenever it's called, will be Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte versus Fury. Does he stand the chance versus Tyson?
Dillian Whyte?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a chance, like one punch. Everybody has, but it will be hard, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Big guy. I was, you know, ringside at that Wilder and Fury fight. So yeah, he's really big, you know. But I would love to see the fight against Fury and Joshua. You know, it's huge fight, and of course Wilder against Joshua. It will be also a very huge fight. So I think this fight has to happen, you know, and we'll see.
We got Victor Banuelos that says, "Do you make bets in boxing? Help us make some money, champ." Do you ever gamble?
Yes. Yeah, we do with friends, you know, we talk sometimes. And I also like the, you know, MMA, UFC. I watch. Most of my friends, you know, they do MMA, so they like to bet. I bet sometimes, you know, on UFC. But on boxing, yeah, most of the time I try. But, you know, you can never predict because I'm not 100% sure. It's always change and something can happen, you know. Like I said, that's why I love the sport, because you can be like favor and other guy can make upset, you know. So that's the beauty of the sport.
Well, we appreciate your time, man. If you can, please give out your social media for anyone that isn't following you can do so. I'm screen sharing it here for the spelling. But yeah, if you can just tell them where to find you, we appreciate your time.
Yeah, I use Instagram. It's Eimantas Stanionis. So it's my name and my last name. So yeah, I know it's hard to spell.
Well, thank you so much. And we can't wait to get you back on, man. Hopefully once this thing gets finalized and you have a date, we can get you back on. You're a fantastic interview. I really appreciate your English and your candidness with the answers as well, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right.
Take
it easy, man.
Bye-bye.
Enjoy the rest of your day. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Stanionis.
Yo, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Untitled, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.